Welcome back to ABC24 This Week. I'm Richard Ransom, joined by Otis Sanford, Catherine Burgess, and Tawan Stout-Mitchell. We're talking about the state efforts to take over the Memphis-Shelby County School system in light of all the controversy that's been going on over the last several months, most notably the firing of Dr. Marie Fagan as superintendent. But there was movement in many regards this week on the efforts in Nashville to do something and the pressure for them to do something, and it's been inspired by lots of people, mostly Representative Mark White, who also chairs the Education Committee there in Nashville and represents Memphis, but also Cameron Sexton, the House Speaker, who said this week there has been lots of speculation over the decades concerning fraud, waste, and abuse of resources within MSCS. It's time that we do something about it. One of the things they want to do, Catherine, is help pay for this forensic audit that the Memphis-Shelby County, or the Shelby County Commission, appropriated a measly $50,000 for. No one thinks that's nearly enough to cover the kind of audit that they're proposing. If you could, a little bit what a forensic audit entails, and by going back so many years, how complicated can that be?
Yeah, very complicated. I haven't covered this in particular, so I don't want to speak out of turn, but
Sure.
A forensic audit is much more in-depth, much more complicated, takes much more time, a lot more resources. And what I do love about this development is that it's something that our local officials have actually asked for. Our county commission wants a forensic audit, whereas we've seen a lot of state overreach where it's the state trying to impart things upon us locally, and this is something that is actually wanted by locals. So I'm all state money sounds great.
So $2 million for the audit. They're also moving forward with making it okay to recall members of the school board if the public desires that, to oust members of the school board if the public desires that. But as far as the public's concerned, really all we've seen is efforts by several local groups who have formed saying, no, 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 keep your hands off, state lawmakers. We don't want your involvement. Who wins in that battle?
Well, the state has the big stick, but I do want to caution us that we are accusing a school system of something that we don't have any evidence of at all. Yeah, they had a sloppy process in selecting a superintendent, but I don't know of any fraud, malfeasance, misconduct, financial misconduct. Since I've been watching the school board, now maybe there's something there, but it appears to me we're going on an expedition to find something rather than say we're concerned. And the Shelby County government already requires Memphis City Schools to have an audit and to report that audit to them on an annual basis. And they do so, and the firm and they identified the firm that had to do it, and that's Banks, Finley and White, and it's the firm they selected who also audits Shelby County governments. So if they can't trust the same firm that they've hired over the years.
So you think a forensic audit is too much? It's not necessary at this point?
I think it's trying to find something because you're mad about something rather than there is a problem here, unlike the grant situation at the county. We know there's a problem there. So let's see what we can do to tighten controls. You haven't shown me a problem here.
But to counter that, Otis, there's not a local government that has more in funds every year than the Memphis-Shelby County school system, approaching $2 billion, although I think that may be pared back with the federal funds that they're losing. It's not out of the realm of possibility to think they might find some corruption in there.
No, it's not. And to all due respect, Juan, some of the issues that led to Superintendent Fagan's being dismissed were financial issues. So I don't see that there's a huge problem with going deeper into a financial audit here. I don't have a big problem with that. I don't because of the heaviness of the finances at the Memphis-Shelby County Schools, and again because of some of the financial issues that were brought up when they fired her. But beyond that, I have absolutely no problem with term limits for school board members, being able to recall school board members. They should face the same kind of issues that county commissioners face, that city council members face. I have absolutely no
I don't have a problem
with
with
that.
that either.
So we have a big mess on our hands, and I stopped short of saying let's let the state just totally take over. But I have no problem with the state being involved in making sure that financially everything is in order at the
Well,
school
I have
system.
no problem with not runoffs, recall petitions. I have no problem with being accountable.
Right.
I have no problem with that at all. But I am sensing that the violations that occurred with one person.
Okay.
And the school board brought it to light doing your job and made some decisions about that. Now, I believe the school board, I don't have a problem even with a forensic audit because I believe everybody should be accountable. I have a problem with us assuming that they have done something wrong.
Well, I don't think there's
before
any.
we find out.
Certainly, I'm not assuming that anybody's done anything wrong, but the audit will tell us whether anybody has done anything. I don't have any problem
with the audit, but I have a problem with looking for something to nail them with because we don't have it now. I have a problem with that, but I don't have a problem with let's get an audit and verify it and show the public all is well here.
One thing that is not an assumption is that the MSCS has failed miserably at educating our kids. And you can blame a lot of different people for that. But when you look at 80% of the student body not proficient in basic skills of reading and math, I think a lot of it is just the frustration with the lack of success over decades has not gotten better, not one iota.
And that picture could be similar for some rural schools systems in Tennessee too.
Well, it could be.
And so I still say, let's not make rules for one system that would not apply for other systems.
That's fair. Look at the other failing systems.
That's
too.
right.
I think Memphis is the target because they've got more money. They get more money than anybody else. But yeah, I think she makes a very good point.
Plus, it's not just Republicans in the legislature who are saber rattling on this. You have G.A. Hardaway and you have others who are saying we need to make some reforms here. So let's not, and I'm not saying you're doing that, but let's not pin it all on Republicans that they are the ones that are just going after them to see if they can find something.
Because I made some suggestions myself to Representative Mark White and Senator Brent Taylor, because I do think while we have an opportunity to make some changes, let's look at how we supervise and hire and fire in public of a superintendent. I don't like lynchings of a superintendent. There should be a way you can do that in a closed session with citizens from the community, the teachers association, the principals association, the attorney, a school board member, and somebody else bringing recommendations to the board based on those charges and their findings, and then the board respond to it. I think that we should have a bank of superintendents
A lot
all
needs to be done.
over.
I had to cut off there because we got the third
I'm
segment.
sorry, but
you make some good points. More needs to be done, just an audit.
That's right.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.